Hello, I'm glad to see you.
Hello.
It's an absolute honor to have you here today. Truly excited to speak with you. You are a determined and rising force in the flyweight division, building an impressive record, strong discipline, and consistency inside the ring. Known for your resilience, sharp technique, and relentless mindset. You've proven that you belong among the top contenders, representing the USA and competing at a high level since your debut. Your journey is a powerful example of dedication and growth in boxing. Thank you so much for taking the time to join this interview. I genuinely appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and learn more about your journey, your mindset, and what drives you forward in the sport. Let's get started. Before we dive into your journey, I want to say that every fighter has a unique starting point, and that's what makes their story special. Some people come into boxing by accident, others are inspired by family, and some just feel that inner fire from a young age. It's always fascinating to understand that first moment, the spark that changes everything. For many athletes, that moment defines their future and shapes their mindset. I believe that the beginning often tells us a lot about the person are you today. Your path is already inspiring, and I am really curious about how it all started for you. Let's go back to the roots of your story. Brianna, when did you first fall in love with boxing?
Well, I I don't think I fell in love, more like it was just, my I first did karate, and karate was what made me change into boxing because my dad gave me an opportunity to pick if I wanted to keep on doing karate or boxing. So then I decided to pick boxing and continue it, and from there I went. Um,
What inspired you to start your boxing journey?
well, my dad, he just pushed me, kept pushing me into doing it. And then I also see Katie Taylor, for sure, a professional boxer, and how she also fought Katie Taylor and versus Serrano. Those two were pretty good fights, and they inspired me a lot to keep going.
Oh, Kitty Taylor and Serrano, very good fighters. Every boxer is unique inside the ring. Some rely on power, others on speed, technique, or strategy. But beyond skills, there are also personality. Your fighting spirit, the way you move, think, and react says a lot about who you are. Fans and analysts often try to define fighters, but the best definition always comes from within. I believe you know yourself better than anyone else. This is your chance to describe your true identity in boxing. Let's hear it from you. How would you describe your boxing style?
Um, well, I have variations of them. It just depends on who I'm fighting. I think I could box. I could, go in there, fight and stuff. Like do all kinds of different styles. I'm very open to like changing my style too. And I think I have a very high IQ of changing and doing that, doing exactly what I want to do in the ring too.
Boxing is not just about fights. It's about what happens every single day in training, waking on early, pushing your limits, staying focused. It's a constant grind. Not everyone can handle that lifestyle. Motivation plays a huge role in staying consistent, especially when no one is watching. That's when true champions are built. I'm sure you had days where it was hard to keep going, but something always pushes you forward. I'd love to know what that is for you. What motivates you to keep improving every day?
Well, my dad, he pushes me. He pushes me in there waking up every morning and stuff, just to keep going, even though like it gets hard, but I have my dad there, so he'll just keep pushing me forward and keep going. He's a big help in it too.
Do you remember your very first fight?
Yeah, I do remember, and I took a before the fight, I took an hour nap.
And what was it like?
Um, I can't really remember that far. It was too far. It was like when I was 8 years old, young. I think I know I was like kind of excited, kind of up there going for it.
Every career has its ups and downs. Sometimes the hardest moments teach us the most valuable lessons, losses, injuries, or mental struggles. They are part of the journey. What defines a fighter is how they respond to those challenges. It's never easy, but it builds character. Fans often see the victories, but not the struggles behind them. I think those moments deserve just as much attention. Let's talk about one of yours. What has been the toughest moment in your boxing career so far?
I don't think I really have one, not yet. I mean, the training's hard, and some fights they could be hard, but I don't think I've gotten there where it could be that hard.
How do you handle pressure before big fights?
Mhm. Just staying calm. I mean, my sister and my dad are there by my corner or by my side, so they help me. They comfort me and stuff before a fight.
Discipline is one of the most important qualities in any athlete. It's what keeps you consistent even when motivation is low. It's about making the right choices every single day. Training, diet, recovery, everything requires discipline. Without it, success is impossible in boxing. Many people talk about talent, but discipline is what truly separates champions. I am sure it plays a huge role in your life. Let's hear your perspective. What does discipline mean to you as an athlete?
Well, just getting up every morning, getting up, uh, working out when you don't want to, when you don't feel like it, working out on your birthday, working out on holidays and stuff. So that's really a big deal. And then getting your mind into it, being prepared. Just telling yourself that you have to do it, you have to do it. No breaks, no nothing. And also my dad just, pushing me too.
Your inspiration in boxing. Every fighter looks up to someone. Legend of sport inspires the next generation. Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Lomachenko, Triple G, Usyk, many boxers. Watching great fighters can shape your style and mindset. Sometimes it's not just about skills, but also their story and character. Inspirations gives you direction and belief. I'm sure there is someone who influenced you deeply. Fans would love to know who that is. Let's talk about your role model. Who is your biggest inspiration in boxing?
I would say maybe Katie Taylor. Her and her humbleness, her good fighting skills. She's fought very good and only lost like one time, but that was when she went up in weight. So then she's a big inspiration, and she fought Amanda Serrano, which was another girl that was pretty good too. And it just pushes me to become, pro and become as big as them.
Sacrifices for success. What sacrifices have you made to reach this level?
As I said, getting up early, you know, being in the gym for a long time, but like a lot of hours too. And my dad just pushing me again. He's pushing me. He's the one that, wants me to do good, and I'm ready for it.
You did a great job. Well done. Junior high performance team. Making it into a high level team is always a big moment for any young athlete. It represents recognition, hard work, and potential coming together. What did it mean to you to make the junior high performance team?
Well, it was pretty good. It was my first time on there, so like it was exciting that I got to go up there and win and fight.
How did you feel when you first achieved that milestone?
It was very exciting. I was prepared. I I think I knew I had it in the bag. I knew I was gonna go out there and win.
Back to back Silver Gloves titles. Winning a tournament is already a huge achievement, but doing it back to back is something truly special. It shows consistency, discipline, and a champion's mindset. Staying at the top is often harder than getting there. You have to deal with expectations and tougher opponents. That kind of success doesn't happen by accident. There is always a key factor behind it. I'd really like to understand what worked for you. Winning the Ringside Silver Gloves tournament back to back is huge. What was the key to your success?
I mean, the mm, well, just training, just my dad again, he kept pushing me, so just kept training and doing all the work, and I came out there good, and I knew I was gonna win.
Yes, hard training, very hard. Not all victories feel the same. Some fights stay in your memory more than others. It could be because of the opponent, the difficulty, or the moment itself. Sometimes it's about proving something to yourself. Those wins often define your journey. Fans love hearing about these special moments. I'm sure you have one that stands out. Let's talk about it. Which Ringside Silver Gloves victory means the most to you and why?
Well, I mean, it's kind of just amateur fighting, so it doesn't really mean that much. But I would say the first one that I won was pretty good because it was the first time I went into that tournament. And I won it. So yeah, I don't see it like as a big victory, you know.
Mental preparation. Boxing is as much mental as it physical. Preparing your mind before a big tournament is crucial. Focus, confidence, and calmness can make all the difference. Many fighters struggle not with skills, but with nerves. Mental preparation is often what separates winner from the rest. I'm sure you have your own approach. It would be great to hear about it. Let's dive into your mindset. How do you prepare mentally for tournaments like Silver Gloves?
Well, I mean, my dad, he just, he's the one that does it for me, and then like he tells me what to do and stuff, so I'm prepared. I mean, I just gotta get my head in the game, and I mean, I do that, and I just go out there and fight my fight.
Being a junior Olympic champion every year is incredible. What keeps you so consistent?
Well, again, like I said, my dad, he, pushes me. He keeps going. He keeps telling me, and I just keep going. I listen, I focus, and I do my work, and that's how I make it up.
Pressure, a winning streak. Success often brings pressure. When you keep winning, people expect you to never lose. That can be difficult to deal with mentally. Every fight becomes more intense. Some athletes thrive under pressure, others struggle. It's part of being at the top. I'm sure you've experienced that feeling. Do you feel pressure to mention that winning streak?
Um, Not too much, I really couldn't care about it. I mean, I just go out there and fight my fight. Amateurs, it's not a big deal. And some of the fighters they just go out there, just throwing a bunch of punches and like, I want to like fight people that actually know how to box, and stuff. So I mean, it doesn't really matter to me.
What makes you different from other fighters at your level?
Um, But my IQ again and my skills in boxing, I could do all kinds of different, styles, adjust to them, and do exactly what my dad would want me to do. And like I could go southpaw too in any kind of style. So that's really an advantage for me.
What fight are you most proud of from your junior Olympics runs?
Um, when I fought Jocelyn, she was older than me, and I was going up in weight too. So that was a big win for me, and I was like, I was happy and stuff.
Competing at a higher level teaches you many lessons. It's not just about winning or losing, it's about growth, experience, and understanding yourself better. Every fight adds something to your journey. Over time, these lessons shape you as both an athlete and a person. They build character and resilience. I'm sure you've learned a lot along the way. Let's reflect on that. What lessons have you learned from competing at such a high level?
Um, maybe just the different styles, seeing them, some of them, But I mean, I don't really know. Maybe what is it? The 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 Olympic style, seeing them how they fight too.
Going undefeated for such a long time is something very rare in boxing. It takes more than just talent. It's about mindset, discipline, and consistency. Every fight becomes a test, and every opponent wants to be the one to break your streak. That kind of pressure can either build you or break you. Staying sharp for years requires a strong mentality. It also sharp for years requires. I'm really interested in what helps you do it. Going almost 6 years undefeated is insane. What's your secret?
Dedication, a lot of dedication to it. My dad pushing me again, and me just be able to do it and do what I'm taught, and being ready, being prepared. I mean, the I had lots of close fights. The ones that I lost, I've always won the first round, and I feel like I did pretty good. The only thing that I think would be holding me back is my conditioning, and that's why I'm trying to build it up right now, and I think I'm going there.
You are very strong fighter. How do you stay focused when you haven't experienced many losses?
Um, just just being there mentally and physically, having my dad there in my corner and my sister there again. Them.
An undefeated record can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, it gives you confidence and belief. On the other, it creates expectations and pressure. Every every fight becomes more important. People start watching you more closely. It's not always easy to balance those feelings. Some fighters thrive under it, others struggle. I'd love to know how it affects you. Let's hear your perspective. And do you think your undefeated record adds pressure or confidence?
Um, well, maybe confidence. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it's it's just amateurs, and like it does, like it amazed me that I could go that far, without losing and stuff. That was very good and amazing that I could do that.
Have you ever been close to losing a fight? What happened?
Um, Again, it was more my conditioning. I think I should have been trained a lot, like more on my conditioning and stuff. Every single fight I think I fought, it was my conditioning that's what like hurt me the most, and that's why I'm going back in the gym and training harder and harder. And again, the amateurs, it's like all like a lot of them, you see them just coming forward, just throwing punches. It's their conditioning that was lets them win, and that's the tough thing about amateurs.
Winning consistently can sometimes reduce motivation when you are on top. It's easy to feel satisfied, but true champions stay hungry no matter what. They always look for ways to improve. That hunger is what keeps them ahead of others. It's a mindset, not just a feeling. I'm sure you found a way to keep that fire alive. Let's talk about it. How do you stay hungry when you keep winning?
But it's my dad. He keeps pushing me, keeps telling me I gotta go in there, I gotta do it. And I mean, I don't mind it too. I really think I enjoy it. Some what is it? Some parts, the winning, it gets you pumped up, it gets you happy, and stuff.
What mindset do you bring into every fight to stay undefeated?
I think my camera's lagging.
Yeah.
My
And
thing was my thing was lagging. Sorry.
yeah, uh, sorry, repeat. What
Mhm.
uh, do you study your opponent a lot before fights?
I don't know. My dad does though for me. That's good.
Strongest weapon. Every fighter has something that makes them dangerous. It could be speed, power, timing, or intelligence. That weapon often defines their style. Opponents try to figure it out, but it's not always easy. Knowing your strengths is important. Using is at the right moment is even more important. What do you think is your strongest weapon in the ring? Talk me about your style.
Again, I think it's my IQ. I have a higher IQ. Again, like, I can change my style, change it how I want. When it comes to fighting different people, my dad studies them, and I could just, um, go against them and change it exactly how, finding the weakness too. That's that's the thing. I find the weakness, and that's what I go after.
And areas for improvement. No matter how successful you are, there is always room to grow. The best fighters never stop improving. They analyze their weakness and work on them constantly. That's what keeps them at the top. Being honest with yourself is very important. It shows maturity and dedication. I'm sure you are still evolving as a fighter. Let's talk about that. What part of your what part of your game are you still improving?
Again, I'm still trying to improve my conditioning. It still needs work on, but I'm getting there. I'm working more in the gym, more harder and stuff. And I think once I get that down, it's over for everyone.
And how important is your team in maintaining your success?
Wait, could you repeat that one again?
How important is your team for you?
Hmm? Could we do a different one? Different question.
Of how important is your team in maintaining your success?
Um, it's very important to me. Yeah, I do.
I have to say, what you are doing is absolutely incredible. Not cutting weight and still stepping into the ring against bigger opponents shows a completely different level of courage. That's something very few fighters and willing to do. It speaks volumes about your confidence, your toughness, and your mindset. You are not just competing, you are challenging yourself every single time. That's real warrior mentality. It's honestly inspiring to watch and talk about. Respect for that is huge. And you never cut weight and always fight up. Why did you choose this approach?
Well, the tougher fights, they're what makes me better and stuff. So I try to fight more bigger, what is it? More heavier, fighters and stuff. I try to challenge myself and see where I'm at, I'm not trying to go down and like, fight the easier fighters because I mean I could, but I usually stay at my weight or go a little higher to see which one has the more, fights in the back.
Do you feel stronger or faster than your opponents despite the weight difference?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I think it's more my IQ and my moving, my skills, the way I punch, the way I move and stuff.
Going against bigger opponents is one of the toughest challenges in boxing, and the fact that you consistently do it's seriously impressive. It shows your bravery and your belief in your skills. Not everyone is ready for that kind of test. Bigger fighters bring more power and pressure, but you keep stepping up without hesitation. That says a lot about your mentality. Truly high level mindset. What challenges come with fighting bigger opponents?
I mean, maybe punching them hard, but then they keep coming. They're more bigger than me. They could probably take a punch or two.
Brianna, I really respect your mentality in this situation. Choosing to fight bigger opponents is not just physical, it's mental strength. It can give you a psychological edge because you are already stepping out of your comfort zone. That takes confidence and fearlessness. Many fighters would hesitate, but not you. That mindset alone can break opponents before the fight even starts. It's powerful, really powerful. Do you think this gives you an advantage mentally?
Well, yeah, it's very. I think it's very good that I fight, bigger, older people. Especially when I'm going to the elite now. I'm going to be fighting for the elite division too.
Your ability to adapt is something I really admire. Fighting bigger opponents means you can't rely on just one style. You have to think, adjust, and stay sharp. That's what high level boxing is all about. It shows you intelligence inside the ring. Not every fighter can do that. You clearly understand the game deeply. That's what makes you dangerous. How do you adapt your style against stronger fighters?
Well, again, my dad, he tells me what's their weakness, tells me how to do, the things, and then I come out and execute it. I do exactly what he tells me. I find the weaknesses again, and I just, go at that, and it's pretty
I honestly think this approach is making you a much better fighter. Facing tougher challenges always accelerates growth. You are constantly learning and improving. That's something champions do. You are not taking the easy path. You are choosing the hard one. And that's why you stand out. It's a mindset that builds greatness. Huge respect for that. And Has fighting up in weight made you a better boxer overall?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it has. It made me stronger, and I've gone faster, and my head movement and stuff. Just I think so.
Then I wanna talk about your future plans. Your current strategy is bold and unique. Not many fighters would choose this path. It makes your career would choose this path. Even your career even more interesting to follow. Fans love fighters who take risks, and you are definitely one of them. It shows confidence and ambitions. I'm really curious about your plans moving forward. Do you plan to continue this strategy in the future?
Um, yeah, I mean, I plan to go on the Olympics, the Elite Olympics, try that out, and then from there probably try to go pro. But I'm gonna just see what my dad, what he says about it and stuff.
Brianna, you did a great job. Your experience in this area is very valuable. A lot of young fighters struggle with weight cutting. Some even make dangerous decisions. Your approach is different and very interesting. It shows that there are other ways to succeed. Sharing your perspective could really help others, especially those just starting out. What advice would you give young fighters about weight cutting?
I just tell them to keep going, keep following their dreams, even if it gets hard. Just keep going. You're gonna have lots of hard days and rough times, but just keep going and following your dreams, because you'll get there soon.
Your choice to fight above your natural weights is very bold, but it also raises interesting questions. Sometimes fighting at your natural weight can bring different advantages. It's always a strategic decision, and I'm sure you've thought about it. Your perspective on this would be really interesting. Brianna, have you ever considered fighting at your natural weight instead?
Well, I mean, I've done both. I mean, I fought like my weight, and then I've also fought heavier. So I mean, it's not really an advantage. I mean, just I just stay at my weight, and just fight.
And your biggest opponents. You have a great experience. Considering your experience fighting up in weight, you probably face some very strong opponents. That makes your journey even more impressive. Not everyone is willing to take those risks. It shows your bravery and competitive spirit. Every tough opponent adds to your legacy. I'm sure one stands out the most. Let's talk about that. What's the biggest opponent you faced so far?
I have a lot of tough fights, but I think one would probably be the Olympics or the Junior Olympics where I fought Guadalupe. She was very tough. She came forward. It was a good close fight, a close battle. She throws hard and stuff, and we were both going at it.
And then we talk about your first international experience. Brianna, stepping into the ring internationally is a completely different level. And the fact that you've done is It already says a lot about you. Not every fighter gets that opportunity early in their career. It takes courage to represent yourself on a bigger stage. Different environment, different pressure, everything changes. It's a huge step in any boxer's journey, and you handled it, which is impressive. That kind of experience builds real fighters. I'd love to hear how it felt for you. What was your first international fight like?
It was pretty exciting going to a different, area, different place and stuff. And I was very excited seeing how it was like a fair fighting different, fighters, different opponents and stuff. So I was very excited for that.
Mexico versus USA. Fighting in different countries is always a unique experience, especially when you compare places like Mexico and the United States, where boxing cultures are very strong but different. The atmosphere, the fans, even the style of fighting can change. It challenges you in new ways. Only real fighters can adapt to that. And you've done exactly that. That's impressive. I'm really curious about your perspective. How different is fighting in Mexico compared to the USA?
Um, well, over there you could fight twice a day, like multiple times a day in just one day. Over here, you can only fight once a day and stuff. And I think that's very cool that you could fight, multiple times in one day and then the next go on and fight multiple times again.
Puerto Rico opponents facing fighters from different background always teaches something new. Puerto Rico boxers are known for their heart, speed, and technique. Competing against them is never easy. It pushes you to a higher level. You have to adjust and learn quickly. Those experiences are very valuable. I'm sure you gained a lot from those fights. Let's talk about it. What did you learn from fighting Puerto Rico opponents?
Well, I learned that they have, a good boxing style. They're very strong and they're very good at boxing and stuff. And it was a good experience fighting him.
Do you enjoy fighting internationally?
Um, yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah, it's very cool going to a different place, a new environment and stuff. So it's exciting and seeing other people's style over there and stuff. I've also fought England over there, and like those girls from England, they came down and I sparred them, and I like seeing their style and stuff, sparring them. It was good work.
You have a much challenges abroad. Competing in different countries comes with real challenges. It's not just about the fights, it's travel, time zones, food, and environment. Everything can affect your performance. You need to be mentally strong to handle that. Not every fighter can adapt quickly, but those who do become stronger. You've clearly faced these situations. I'd love to know how do you deal with them? What challenges come with competing in different countries?
I don't see a real challenge in that. I mean, it's just, different fighters, different opponents. I really don't pay attention. It's fine. It's whatever.
Crowds can have a huge impact on a fight. Fighting in front of a home crowd is one thing, but away crowds can vary intense. Sometimes they support your opponent strongly. That can create pressure, but it can also motivate you. Great fighters know how to use that energy. I'm sure you've experienced both sides. Let's talk about it. How how do crowds in other countries affect you?
I mean, they don't affect me, it's just, they crowd and stuff. I just block them and stuff. You hear them chanting from for their person, but then it goes quiet once you start giving them stuff.
Also, you have a cultural experience. Your cultural experience big. Boxing is more than just sport. It's also a way to experience different countries' cultures. And traveling and competing internationally opens new perspectives. You meet new people and see different lifestyles that can change you as a person. It's something very special about this sport, and not everyone gets to experience it. I'm sure it's been meaningful for you. Brianna, have you experienced any cultural differences through boxing?
No, no, I don't know.
Which country has been your favorite to compete in so far?
I'd say the Mexico one. The Mexico one, yeah. It was exciting going there and fighting because the girls over there, they're not scared to fight. They'll fight whoever and stuff.
Oh, Mexico is great country. Mexico has a many great boxers. Canelo Alvarez, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and others great fighters. International fights don't just test your skills, they test your character. Being is unfamiliar situation shows who you really are. You learn about your strengths and your limits. It's a different kind of growth. Those experiences shape you deeply and they stay with you for life. I'm sure you discovered a lot about yourself. What have international fights ties about ties you about yourself?
Wait, could you repeat that one?
What have international fights taught you about yourself?
Well, I mean, it just showed me, different, their different styles and stuff. It showed me how they fight, and then my dad, he shows me how they fight. He shows me their style, and I practice it too. I do it too.
Yes, international experience is something that separates good fighters from great ones. It exposes you to different styles and challenges. It forces you to adapt and grow. That's how champions are built. Not everyone takes that path early, but you did. And that says a lot about your ambitions. I'd love to hear how important you think is. How important is international experience for your development?
Um, well, it's good. It's good. It's good to learn. It's good to see other people and how they fight and stuff. So I feel like, watch them and see their style too, and go from there.
WBC tournament excitement. Brianna, I have to say, this next step in your career is incredible, exciting. Competing in a big tournament like this shows how far you've already come. Not every fighter gets this kind of opportunity. It's a stage where the best come together, and the fact that you're part of it says everything about your level. You have a big level. You've earned this moment. It's a huge chance to prove yourself globally. I can imagine the excitement is on another level. How excited are you for the upcoming WBC tournament in Mexico?
I think it would be pretty cool, going back out there again, fighting for the WBC and stuff, and going maybe hopefully I'll get more fights in one day, like multiple fights in one day, and that'll be exciting for me.
What are your expectations going into these tournaments?
Um, well, just fighting, just another fight, going in there fighting, showing my style and stuff, and showing what I can do.
Preparations. Then talk about your preparation. Preparation for a tournament like this must be on a completely different level. When the competition is higher, everything has to improve physically and mentally. Small details start to matter more than ever. I'm sure you and your team are working very hard. Adjustment okay at this stage. It's all about being ready for anything. I'd love to know what's different this time. How are you preparing differently for this competition?
Um, just working in the gym, working what is it, more weights and stuff, doing more conditioning, as I said, and just being there mentally too, and having my dad, watch me and work with me too.
At this level, studying for your opponents become even more important. Fighters from different countries bring different styles. You can't rely on just one approach. Preparation becomes more strategic. Understanding your opponent can make a huge difference. I'm sure you take this seriously. It's part of being a top level fighter. Do you study fighters from other countries before facing them?
Um, Actually, I don't do that. If anything, my dad might, but no, we don't. We don't.
Winning a tournament like this would be a massive achievement. It's not just another victory, it's a statement. It shows that you belong among the best in the world. Moments like this can change a career. It's something every fighter dreams about, and you are in a position to make it happen. That's huge. What would winning this tournament mean to you?
I mean, it'd be exciting to win and stuff, but it's just, another tournament, it's another fight, something, I mean, it's exciting, when you win, but another tournament.
Yes, you are ready to the best. You are ready for the best. Competing against the best in the world is the ultimate test. It's where champions are truly defined. You've already shown incredible skill and consistency. Now it's about proving it on the biggest stage. Confidence plays a huge role there. And from everything we've seen, you have it. You look You look ready, really ready. Do you feel ready to compete against the best in the world?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. I'm prepared. I've been training. I've been working hard. My dad's been pushing me. I've been training, and I'm ready for the best. I'm ready for anyone. I'll fight anyone and everyone.
Step by step, tournaments like this always come with serious challenges. The level is high, and every opponent is dangerous. There is no easy path. Every fight matters. It tests your skills, your mindset, and your endurance. Only the strongest make it through. I'm sure you've thought about what could be the hardest part. What do you think will be the biggest challenge in this event?
Um, I don't think there's really a big challenge. It's just, I gotta be there mentally. I think I'm ready though. I'm ready for it.
Staying focused in on a big stage. Performing on a big stage is never easy. There is attention, pressure, and expectations from everywhere. Staying focused in those moments is a real skill. It separates good fighters from great fighters. You need to block everything out and stay locked in. I'm sure you've developed that ability. It's key at this level. How do you stay focused when competing on such a big stage?
Mm. I just gotta, um, just keep it in mind that it's just gonna be me and her in the ring, no one else there to help or, do anything. But also I have my dad and my sister there again to be there for me and be in my corner, and they'll give me the instructions and everything. So I'm good and I'll be locked in.
Fighters often send message through their performances, not just words, but sometimes words matter too. It's about confidence and mindset. Letting your opponents know who you are. You are already built a strong reputation, and I am sure people are watching closely. This is your moment to speak directly. Brianna, what message do you want to send to your future opponents?
Just be ready, ready for me in the ring. I'm ready to go in there. I'm ready to show off my skills and what I've done and how far I've gone.
Yes, you are the future of boxing. And last questions. Future vision. Looking ahead is always exciting, especially for a fighter like you. You've already achieved so much, but it feels like this is just the beginning. The next few years could define your legacy. Growth titles, bigger fights, everything is ahead for you. It's a powerful moment in your career, and your potential is huge. I'd love to hear your vision. Where do you see yourself in boxing in the next 5 years?
Um, Again, either in the Olympics, getting that medal, trying to go in there and do my best, or either in a pro fight, making my debut. But again, I'll go up to my dad and, see what he says about it and what I should do from there.
Yes, yes, of course. I just want to say a huge thank you for this interview. It was truly an honor to speak with you and hear your story. your mindset, and your journey in boxing. Your discipline, confidence, and fearless approach for the sport and seriously inspiring. The way you challenge yourself and keep pushing forward says everything about your character. I really appreciate your time and openness. It means a lot. I'm sure this is just the beginning of something even bigger for you. Wishing you nothing but success in your upcoming fights and beyond. Thank you again,
Thank you.
Brianna, and I can't wait to see you continue dominating in the ring.
Thank you.
Goodbye and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Bye bye.
Bye.